I first quit photography in 1997. I stayed away for 3 years, but in 1999, another photographer began to rope me back in. But I quit again in 2010, and this time I stayed away for real. It was a Tuesday afternoon, and I deleted my email address. So it was Tuesday afternoon. I decided on the spot to delete my email account, and I did. My main business primary studio email account. I was tired. I was tired of having to educate clients as to what good photography was. I was also tired about educating clients as to why they would want good photography. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but that's where I was at. I was also tired of trying to tell clients I didn't want my work on social media. I didn't want it consumed that way. And that went in direct opposition to pretty much every single marketing campaign that anyone was doing. I also realized that I had had a great career in photography and had done many of the things I wanted to do, and it was time to move on. So I deleted my account. My wife was behind me and she said, "What are you gonna do?" And I said, "I think I'm gonna move to New Mexico and change my career." And my wife, being my wife, she said, "Okay." And that was it. But here's the thing. I still love photography. I still love to do projects. I just don't want to do them for anyone else. So the way that I work is I come up with a concept, an idea, a location, a story. I go back over and over and over again, and I build a body of work. I file it away, I enjoy the process, and I move on. I don't even care if anyone sees the work. That's just the way that I prefer to do things at this point. But to do documentary photography, you need a couple of things. You need time, you need access, and you need permission. And that can be very easy to do, and that can be very difficult to do. So I've developed a system over the years of helping myself out by creating a business card. Now you might be thinking, well, business card, that sounds pretty 1985 or maybe 1965 for that matter. I'm not talking about your normal business card. I am talking about a MadCloud Digest business card. Let me explain. MadCloud? What's MadCloud? So MadCloud is like a sister, brother, cousin, uncle business that's part of Blurb, parallel to Blurb, etc. It doesn't really matter. MadCloud is another company that allows you to create a variety of different kinds of publications. Things like posters, tabloids, flyers, magazines, and my favorite, the Digest. The Digest is a 5 1/4 by 8 1/4, soft cover only, one paper type only, publication. Why is this so good? Number one, I love the aspect ratio. Of both platforms, Blurb and MadCloud, it's the only small landscape format that's available. That's number one. And it fits a lot of images I shoot mostly in landscape format. So aspect ratio wise, it fits my 35mm really well. Number two, it is dirt cheap. If you go on the MadCloud site, madcloud.com, and you check out the pricing, your jaw will go from here, normal jaw position, to down here somewhere. It's incredibly inexpensive to make these publications. Number three, what I like, the printing on these is gorgeous. I've never heard someone complain about MadCloud printing, myself included. I've made a myriad of these things over the years, etc. But point number four is the most important thing, how I use this artifact. I use it like you would use a business card. However, I only pull this thing out and I give it only to those people that I actually really want to work with. So let's say that I'm in the field and I find somebody that I want to work with and they say, "Who are you and what are you doing here?" This happens all the time. Now I have a couple of options. I can say, well, I'm a documentary photographer and I do long-term projects and stories and blah, 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 and I can try to explain what it means to be a documentary photographer. That doesn't work very well anymore. Or I can just hand them something like this. And I've seen this work in my favor over and over again, because it's tangible. They stop what they're doing, they pick it up and start to leaf through it, and it also shows the quality of my work. It shows that I can encapsulate ideas, that I can put my thoughts down. It is an absolute gift to be able to take something like this in the field. But wait, there's more. I don't just throw random images into this, because I do multiple things in my life that would be lumped under the creative umbrella. This little shifter, MadCloud Digest, which you can see very beautifully right here. This is divided into 3 categories. The first being reportage. This is the kind of work I want to do the most. So it comes first in the Digest. And this is black and white single images representing things I've done over the years. Maybe a single image, maybe 2 images with a small caption to give people an idea of what the image was, where it was made, etc. The second part of this little publication is called Dispatches, and this is about the interview series that I do and the series of portraits that accompany the audio interviews that I do. And you can see these on my shifter.media site. I've been doing these for a long time. There's probably 70 to 75 interviews on there, long form audio interviews. This also piques people's interest because a lot of times the people that I'm meeting in the field end up being the people that I want to interview. And finally, I do a lot of writing. I've always done a lot of writing. So the third section of my little business card is essay, and it showcases a couple of stories that I've written that were syndicated by national publications and then syndicated across the country. One of them was syndicated to over 300 different media outlets that ended up running this story many years ago. And so what it shows is the diversity of what I'm trying to do. Now, finally, the entire document is black and white, with the exception of one photograph in the middle, one spread in the middle, which was a portrait of a remarkable photographer that I was able to interview and photograph a few years ago. Her name is Claire Rosen. If you don't know her, I'll link her website in the description below. She's what I would call the Indiana Jones of photography, if you will. I'll just leave it at that. Her work is pretty remarkable. To sum this up, this is my business card. It cost me a grand total of $7 a copy, approximately. I haven't ordered any in a while because I've got a nice stack of them still. It is money well spent. Something like this, a publication like this, MadCloud makes a multitude of options for you to choose from. My advice is to experiment. Use each one, make a single copy, do some testing, etc. And I think that you'll find a way to work this into your portfolio of products as you navigate the world as a photographer. Good luck and get printing.